day viewers, good day everyone, good day Nigeria, good day America, wherever you are listening to this program. We say a big welcome to you to the Political Circuit, where we discuss issues of politics. It has always been educative and informative. As you always know, this is your number one channel, OPC TV, a channel that has always been giving you qualitative information and vital and resourceful information from a genuine source. I welcome you today once again to the Political Circuit, where we discuss issues that has to do with politics. Before I begin, if you have a rundown through the headlines of our newspapers for the past 1 week, you come to realize that many events has taken place in the political life of Nigeria. One particular headline that shocked the world was the conduct or the awaiting trial of Abba Kyari. You ask yourself, an individual who was meant to be a hunter, now hunted. We also have many headlines that has to do with the life and activity of the detention stories of Nnamdi Kanu and Sunday Igboho. We also have other issues that has to do about the possibility of election in 2023. With the insecurity state of Nigeria, do you think that election might take place in 2023? With the falling of Nigerian currency, do you think we have a place to go? What value is our currency in the Nigerian market? So these are some of the things we shall be discussing today in the political circuit. We analyze issues, we discuss points and profess solutions, and at the same time, never forget, we go out to interrogate, to ask questions from citizens who share their views. On this note, I welcome you once again to your number one program, the Political Circuit. I'm always your number one host, Gajimi Elijah Luatoye. Stay tuned, I'll be right back. I say a big welcome back to your channel. The first headline I want us to think about or to investigate or analyze is that of Abba Kyari. We know him to be an hunter who has been hunting against those that commit criminal offenses within and outside the country. You begin to ask yourself what has brought him to this mess that he has found himself. Although constitutionally he hasn't been declared a coup priest, but from the findings that we have, the evidences that we have seen, we hope that he will be able to justify himself from this public mess that he has put himself. The action of Abba Kyari, if investigated thoroughly, has some implicative information lying unnoticed. Abba Kyari, a policeman, an officer of the Constitution, an individual who is supposed to stand as a living example for others to follow, a policeman in a police custody that is supposed to act according to the rule of law, found himself in such a mess. We ask ourselves, what implication does this say about the Nigerian government? Does this show the form or training or the sanity that the police custody is meant to uphold? Hush Puppy, as we know, having pronounced himself as a lagger or fraudster, has some underlying cases for which he has been detained outside the country. Abba Kyari, was he supposed to have a connection with this individual? Now being suspended, what implication? How do you think that the citizens or countries outside where we belong, which is Nigeria, would see the system of security, would see the sanity in security? They begin to question that if Abba Kyari, someone who has been given many awards for what he said he was doing, can find himself in such a mess, so other policemen, even when they are trying to showcase themselves as individuals of saint, can be questioned. Their integrity can also be questioned. What implication does this have over the Nigerian society? What implication does this act of his have over the police and their method or discharge of their duty? What implication does this have about the Buhari's government? Buhari, as we know, when he came up in 2015, was trying to tell us that he will fight against corruption. We hope that the corruption for which he said he will fight, we will see it being practicalized in the case of Abba Kyari. The Nigerian that many persons want to leave to go to America, an individual sees a free visa and says it's not going. Having said that, we also look at the detention of Sunday Igboho and Nnamdi Kanu. We still await what the outcome will be. We still await a society where everyone's rights can be upheld. We still await what Nigerian government would do to the Benonuans on the issue of Sunday Igboho. That will not lead me back to the statement made by Tunde Bakare, a pastor. I would always say, if you want to be a politician, be a politician. If you want to be a pastor, be a pastor. You can never be chameleonic. You cannot be a pastor politician. It's not possible because it's against the ethics of Christianity and religion. Everyone has the right to say whatever he feels, but at the same time, let us also know that our integrity matters a lot. The defection story from a particular party to others has also been one of the many issues that has been discussed in many headlines during this week. You realize that great politicians are moving from a party to the other because election is around the corner. We begin to ask ourselves, if I was a PDP 4 years ago, my party is running smoothly, along the line we got some misunderstanding, the next election I'm now an APC member, the full election I'm a PDP member at the same time, how do you see me? Does that speak volume about me? Can we continue to defect from one party to the other just for our own selfish interest? Parties defection and individual who defect from a particular party to the other shows many things about the person. If an individual has what it takes to rule a party and bring the party to the promised land, he or she would never think of defection. So Nigerians, we need to wake up, we need to come to that clarion call that the defection of politicians from a particular party to the other shows many things that cannot be said now, but actions, they say, speaks louder than voice. The defection shows a lot. The defection shows many things that we would come to see when the time for election rings. I wouldn't be doing the talking alone. For this reason, we hear the views of some patriotic citizens about the happenings, the headlines in the news this week. First, we hear from our correspondent about the case of Abba Kyari. Also, we shall also hear from a patriotic citizen about the statement and also the reverse statement made by Tunde Bakare. Join me as we listen.
I listened to Tunde Bakare, his broadcast, that Nigerian people for Nigerian people. I just said it from my side that Pastor Tunde Bakare should face his church. He put us into this mess. Wow. He was the one that packaged Buhari and was telling us he was not corrupt. Looking at the whole situation on ground, things are very difficult. It is bad. If you listen to that broadcast, if you listen to that broadcast, he said they went to meet President Muhammadu Buhari. President Muhammadu Buhari said Nigerian people have rejected him. Tunde Bakare said they told President Muhammadu Buhari that they are going to repackage him, which they did. Now the Muhammadu Buhari have fired him. Now he's not coming back to tell Nigeria that we are going. No, what? It's no more to use scripture to back up. It's an insult. I stand to be corrected on this platform.
Though he said God directed him to do that. You know?
God is not a God.
He doesn't act when God has not spoken.
God is not a God of confusion. If God has spoken, He will definitely confirm it. That means to say from all inception, it was for selfish interest.
Wow.
I stand to be corrected on this platform. Tunde Bakare, if you want to be a politician, let him come and plainly and become a politician. He should not be coming on TV and say God said. It's a slap on the Nigerian pastor. It's a slap on the can. It's a slap on the Christian Pentecostal fellowship. If you want to leave the church, let him leave the church. Let him come and face politics. Today we'll dabble into politics. Tomorrow we'll dabble into it's a slap.
Let me quickly mention that Abba Kyari is not under trial in the court of public opinion. Let me quickly mention that Abba Kyari is innocent until proven otherwise by a court of competent jurisdiction. Even as he's already been accused of taking bribe. What I can understand is, in Nigeria and globally, there are two phases of prosecution. One is in the court of public opinion and one is the legal courts. So in as much as we are interested in getting our system rid of corruption, we should avoid the temptation of convicting people in the court of public opinion. Having said that, I think the world is already a global village. That best explains the reason it's easy for somebody to be in Nigeria and is accused of crime in America, in Dubai, in London, and so on and so forth. Then looking at the accusation against Abba Kyari, I equally believe that American system, they have a working system, that before you are accused, they would have gathered enough intelligence, enough evidence. I want to use Ibori case to buttress it. When Ibori was tried in Nigeria, he was decided and acquitted. But when he got to London and he was confronted with overwhelming evidence, he pleaded guilty. You see the difference between a country that does diligent investigation and the one that doesn't do that. Then again, looking at some people that is saying that Abba Kyari is a Nigerian, he doesn't have dual citizenship of America and Nigeria. As such, that extraditing to America will amount to affront on Nigerian sovereignty. Personally, I do not see it that way. Because if you look at Nigerian American extradition treaty of 1931, that treaty was established in 1931. It came into effect in 1935. And if you look at Article 3, subsection 22 of that that extradition treaty, that is what deals with this issue where Abba Kyari is involved, talking about bribery. And if you look at American legal system, their legal jurisprudence, it tells you that their system gives them leverage of extraterritorial jurisdiction. And there are instances where America have exercised it. So saying that America cannot extradite Abba Kyari from Nigeria to America to face prosecution, I think it's wrong. Then again, what they need to do is, because now he has been suspended, and it is Police Service Commission that have the right and mandate to discipline, hire, fire a police officer as the case may be. In this circumstance, police have done their preliminary investigation, recommended his suspension to Police Service Commission, and consequent upon that, they have been suspended by the Police Service Commission. Now, the next phase is they will now carry out an investigation. After the police have done their investigation, they will now submit all their report to Police Service Commission, who will now review it and take necessary action. But let me quickly mention that even after the Police Service Commission must have arrived on a decision to take, whether to dismiss him, whether to demote him, whichever way it goes, that they need to go back to a Nigerian court through the Attorney General of Federation in Nigeria to decide whether the process of extraditing him to America to face prosecution. But ultimately, if he's found wanting, I think the law permits that he will be extradited to America to face prosecution. Then again, looking at America as a sovereign state and Nigeria as a sovereign state, I don't think the regular corruption in Nigerian system will prevail in this circumstance. Because I think every personality involved is going to be wary of what they do. Because nobody wants to be in the bad book of America. If not even a Nigerian state wants to be in the bad book of America. So to that extent, I think Nigerian government and all the personalities involved in all the processes leading to his extradition, they are going to make sure they do the needful, they do the right thing, they follow due process. But ultimately, I'm not vilifying him, I'm not condemning him, because I do not have the mandate to condemn him. I'm not a court, but let the right thing be done. in as much as I'm not condemning him, but there is a saying that says that those that live in glass houses should not throw stones. Because this is somebody by training who is a prosecutor, who investigates. Now he's been accused. For me, I think the right thing to do in the first place is even for Abba Kyari to tell the whole world, to tell Nigerians that yes, waive all the necessary process. Let me go there and clear my name. Because we have a situation where Mr. President is touted as somebody who is fighting corruption, as Mr. Integrity. And for me, this is even like a litmus test for Mr. President to prove to the world that actually you are a man of your word, you do not condone corruption. So to that extent, I expected Mr. President to give a marching order to everybody involved to expedite action so that we get to the root of this thing as soon as possible.
Does it have any negative effect on the Nigerian police force?
That will depend on the outcome of the whole process. But again, don't forget that American system is very efficient. America will be following through in all the process and processes as Nigerian system is undergoing this process. So if they try to circumvent any rule, I think American government will point it out. So that's why Nigerian government have to be very careful and do a diligent assignment so that they don't end up ridiculing Nigeria as an entity. Because if you look at the way it stands, Nigeria is on trial. Abba Kyari is on trial. Nigerian police is on trial. So you have a mandate to try to save Nigeria's image, his own image, and the image of police.
Just like I explained before I went on that particular break, I told us that the statement made by Tunde Bakare needs to be explained in terms of politics, in terms of religion, and in terms of integrity and identity. Just like I said if you want to be a Christian, if you want to be a pastor, you be a pastor, operate within your own domain. If you want to be a politician, come out as a politician and operate in the society as a politician. I could remember 2015 when President Buhari was up for his campaign. This same Tunde Bakare came up and told us that God told him, the God who told him then, that Buhari is our survivor. Can that same God come back and reverse his statement? Now he's coming back to tell us again that the government of Buhari is worse. Can God ever do something bad? I leave that question for us to answer. That also goes a long way to question our integrity. We do not drag religiosity into politics, and we dare not drag politics into religion. For Abba Kyari, as discussed by him, all this boils down to the processes, the training period, and the underlying factors that are meant to bring up an ideal person whom we call a police officer. If after all this many investigation, Abba Kyari is found guilty, the security system of Nigeria can begin to raise some further fundamental questions. That if this person who is as high as rank in the police custody could do this, then what hope do we have for the future? Let us continue to await the outcome of his trial, and we hope that it doesn't go the way we see. But if it of course goes that same way, then many questions will begin to arise. I just hope as well that the appearance of Abba Kyari in the United States shouldn't be a pointer to other persons whom we have not known that can also be involved in such transaction. Let's hope that things like this will not happen again. But at the same time, we need to understand that Nigeria is ours. Nigeria is our home. Let us act according to the Constitution. Let us act for the sake and dividends of the rule of law. Let us do things according to the way the Constitution has set it, because no one knows whatever we have done many years ago might come back now to haunt us. So having said this, many headlines has also come up, which I have discussed earlier. The defection story from a party to the other speaks more about the person and not the act. We also discussed the many cases of Sunday and Nnamdi Kanu, that we await the final phase of their trial, and we also await the outcome of the judgment. 2023 is around the corner, for it is said that for a country to go through an electoral process, the society must be at peace. In other words, for us to have an election either in a state, local government or the federal level, the case of insecurity must be treated and treated well. Now the country is facing many issues of insecurity. Is there any possibility for us to have a general election in 2023? Never forget that if there is no election 2023, the incumbent politicians will be asked to extend their tenure. Am I thinking rightly? Are all this not a pinpoint that the person, those involved, want to extend their tenure? I might be wrong, but it's an opinion. So let us also know that the security state of Nigeria is ours. The building of Nigeria is ours. Let us act according to duty and not for the sake of duty. I say thank you for this time with us. Thank you for listening and subscribing to our channel, the channel that has always been educative and informative. Follow us on our Instagram, follow us on our Twitter, follow us on our Facebook, watch us on YouTube. Never forget to subscribe. This is Political Circuit. Hope to see you next time. I'm Bajimi Elijah Oluwatoyin, your host. Bye for now.